Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Bob Pompeani. As always, we've got a lot of stuff to get into today, including the NHL when it may return, and how much of an advantage do the Penguins have, given this rest, given their age of their roster, all these things we'll talk about. How about Major League Baseball? We could be seeing it in July. A proposal will be coming out this week, but the #1 topic tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown will be the recently released schedule of the Pittsburgh Steelers. As the NFL continues to churn out news, here's your panel as we bring in Rich Walsh, who joins us from Walsh headquarters out in the eastern part of this city. Rich, good evening to you, socially distancing. And then to the right at the bottom there, you see Andrew Fillipponi. He is up in the Green Tree headquarters, his home away from home at 93.7 The Fan. All right, let's get right into it. Rich, I'll start with you on this one. The Steelers come out with their schedule now. You have 4 of the first 6 at home, 3 of the last 4 on the road. There's a bye week conveniently right sort of the middle of the schedule. What do you think of the schedule? Is it easy? Is it hard? What are your expectations?
Well, according to odds makers and winning percentage, it's the second easiest schedule in the NFL. I think it's going to be more difficult than people think. I think the Steelers might have a tough time early on, but I like the back half of the schedule. Even though the Steelers are playing 3 of their last 4 games on the road, only 4 primetime games for the Steelers. Now, one of those other games could be flex, but they're playing 11 1 o'clock games. A lot of afternoon games, and that's not the normal Steelers schedule. They have a lot of primetime games and a lot of 4 o'clock games, but this year a lot of 1 o'clock games, and I would think that's because of their last 2 years of not making it in the playoffs. But the one thing that caught my eye, there's 2 games in New York, a preseason game that we'll be covering, and then the opener in New York. So they obviously think that things might be heading in the right direction to schedule 2 early games in New York.
Well, from a football standpoint, Bob, I love the schedule. If this plays out the way that the schedule makers have devised it with fans and in these locations, and this schedule, what we see is what we get, I think the Steelers need to win double-digit games, and anything less than that would be a disappointment. And I think it's time. I get the TV networks maybe are a little bit miffed because of Mason Rudolph and Duck last year. They haven't won a playoff game in 3 years, Bob. But I think it's time. I think we need to have high expectations for this team. They're running out of time with Ben Roethlisberger. It's now or never. And I think they have a schedule to win a lot of games. And honestly, guys, I'm sick of talking about how the Steelers have to be a second-place team behind the Ravens. Given this schedule, with the defense coming back and with Roethlisberger healthy, the Steelers' expectation should be to win the division, and anything less than that shouldn't be good enough.
I agree with that, and I think their expectation is to win the division. But I think nationally people look at it like, oh, Baltimore's bringing everybody back. They had a really good offseason. They drafted J.K. Dobbins. All this stuff that went on is fueling their fire. However, Rich, I agree with Andrew in this. With Roethlisberger coming back, again, assuming he's healthy throughout, I think this offense, where last year it stumbled to get the 14 points a game, it seemed, could double that to 28, 25, whatever the case. And with his defense, that's good enough to win a lot of games.
Yeah, I think Matt Canada is going to help, too, adding him to that offensive game plan. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger is going to help an immense amount for this offense. I think they're going to score a lot more points than they did last year. You're going to see this offense in the 30s. I still question the running game right now because of health. That's the only thing that I'm questioning is Connor's health. Maybe McFarland can add another dimension to this offense. But I do like this team, and I think we all have high expectations here in Pittsburgh for this team. I said 10 wins just looking at the schedule. I would lean more towards 11 than the 9, but I think nationally, Vegas has them at 9.5 over-under on wins. So nationally, I think people are expecting more from the Steelers this year as well.
Well, they got it. The Steelers need to give those national critics a reason to believe. And the defense should be a great foundation. I want that to be the strength of the team, Bob. 28 points, 30 points a game. No. It doesn't need to be Killer Bees, Todd Haley offense where they need to carry the show. This is a team that's built, in my opinion, on defense. With Devin Bush, Minkah Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree coming back, Stephon Tuitt is healthy. When they won their Super Bowls with Ben Roethlisberger, it was defense first. And one of my concerns with this team is that Ben Roethlisberger and Randy Fichtner are going to get in a room together and think, we need to throw it 40 times, let's prove everybody wrong, and let's score a bunch of points and win that way. And if they do, I actually think that'll be a detriment. The Steelers, it's changed. The pendulum has shifted back to defense, and every game plan they devised this year should be with the idea that the defense is winning them games and not the 38-year-old quarterback.
And I agree, but I didn't say
Tony,
that. What
I love
said,
the Steelers defense. I love this.
No,
I love the Steelers
Richie, you
defense
said
this year.
you said 30
great
points a game. They can't play for 30 points a
No,
game. If they
no,
try to
I'm
do
saying-
that fun
no.
and gun, they're going to lose.
I'm saying they will hit 30 points in a game, not 30 points averaging a game. I think they will get into the 30s at some point. I love their defense. I love their starting lineup and their defense. But where's their depth right now? I think this is a good defense, but they have no depth in the secondary, and they have no depth inside linebacker. I mean, where's this depth coming from? If someone gets hurt, this whole thing could fold.
Well, my point was, and I never said it was carried by the deep. What I said was this offense can make this job for the defense a little bit more, not as difficult because Roethlisberger's back, because the red zone should be better, because last year they struggled to get 14 points a game with those quarterbacks. Now, if you get it to 25 or 28, that takes the pressure off the defense, and I think this defense is good enough to understand that, and it's a wonderful thing if it all stays together. All right, I want to ask you guys, Pony, start with you on this one about, you look at this now, and the Steelers have an advantage at home. They like to think that, and the crowd contributes. But if there are no fans, and we're suspecting there are no fans, does this eliminate some of the home field advantage that you may get, and how does it affect you on the road? Steelers have struggled at times at different places on the road. Does it help them there, Pony?
Well, they usually get extra home games because their fans are everywhere. And so they might have 8 games at Heinz Field, but it feels more like they play 10 home games a year. Richie will tell you that, being on the road with the Steelers. I look at a game, one of their first games this year, Tennessee. You're telling me Steelers fans aren't going to invade Nashville, Tootsie's, Broadway? Richie, you've been to some of those places, those honky-tonks. Steelers fans love it there. And they would have turned that game into an extra Steelers home game. And now it's not. It might be more of a sterile environment. What Tomlin said this weekend about it's a one-size-fits-all. If one team can't do it, all 32 can't do it. Bob, Richie, that's a dangerous game to play because what if, hypothetically speaking, the Steelers can have fans, but the Giants and Jets can't? Then no games are played in front of fans this year?
They're going to have to try to figure something out. One size fits all. I like the idea. Competitive fairness, I think Tomlin called it. And to your point, Pony, Cincinnati, Tennessee, Jacksonville, all would be almost home games for the Steelers this year. Now, if there aren't fans allowed to come, maybe they somehow change things up. And, if the New Yorks can't play in New York, maybe they play somewhere else. Maybe they play a road schedule. But I have a good feeling about this. I think we're going to see fans in some capacity. Maybe not full capacity, maybe not 70,000, but maybe we'll see 50%. I do think we're going to see fans at games. Maybe not at the beginning of the season. I'm hopeful that we will. But, I just think this is just kind of a wait-and-see thing. It's going to be really right now, us talking, it's really hard for me to believe that they're going to play that Hall of Fame game, that preseason Hall of Fame game.
Well, the whole preseason could be in jeopardy. We'll see. I hope not because we carry a lot of those games. But to your point there, Hard Rock Stadium down in Miami, they have an ambitious situation going on right now where they're thinking that place holds like 65 or 70,000. They want to try to put 15,000 in, socially distanced, and have it monitored, which is pretty ambitious, I think. But, hey, whatever it takes. We'll see how it goes. When we come back, we're going to switch over to baseball because they have even grander plans here. They're thinking about opening up in maybe June or July. We'll tell you what the proposal is coming up. But first, I want to tell you that, it's always exciting when a team moves into a new building, and that's certainly true with a team in #1 Cochran Hyundai of South Hills and their spacious new facility, even though they only moved just a mile up the street. Right now, for a limited time, get special grand opening offers in both sales and service. It's the new #1 Cochran Hyundai South Hills, now conveniently located at 3220 West Liberty Avenue. Baseball. When's it coming back? Next. The #1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by #1 Cochran. Go one better.
And by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health.